Enslave us and still cannot break us. You know that your people are God. Whenever I step to my altar, the ancestors take what I offer and watch all my enemies falter. You know that your people are God. Who on this planet can stop a black woman? Chasing my seeds, you better take heed. When we wake up, all my enemies bleed. I'm a new African, whitey can't stop, Bucky can't steal, and Heather can't block. Let's make it clear like a shot of Ciroc. I'ma get free while y'all wait on Barack. We gods, when we don't vote. We gods when they got us chained up on the boat. We gods in the pen, we gods in the bricks. There's nothing wrong with us that we cannot fix. Don't know your power, you can't see the light. This is your hour, you ready to fight? A mother, a sister, a warrior, wife. I know I'm a god, with that on my life. You know that your people are gods. When they infect you with the virus, you still having babies despite this. Can't help it, the whole woman's lifeless. You know that your people are gods. When they infect you with the virus, you still having babies despite this. Can't help it, the whole woman's lifeless. You know that your people are gods.
I will unleash the Kraken.
Do you know what the Kraken is? The Kraken is the end of us. A colossal elemental beast. It doesn't think, it can feel. Even the gods fear it. Release the Kraken!
When you know that your people are God, you do what it takes to defend them. Get at whoever's against them, and don't hesitate to avenge them. When you know that your people are God, you thankful that you in their likeness. Ain't no more worshiping whiteness, and killing your enemies righteous. When you know that your people are God, you do what it takes to defend them. Get at whoever's against them, and don't hesitate to avenge them. When you know that your people are God, you thankful that you in their likeness. Ain't no more worshiping whiteness, and killing your enemies righteous. When you know that your people are God, come on, you know that they only on top cause we left them. When we wake up we gon' get them and put them back where our ancestors should've left them. Yeah, I said F them, but y'all gon' protect them. If it's between them and God, you select them. Worship they idols, your spirit erect them. They killing our people, why can't you reject them? The Bible's corrupt, the Quran is corrupt. As long as they use them to subjugate us. If the religion not picking us up, then put the book down and don't pick it back up. We gods, the scriptures are huge. We already did everything that they do. Africans wrote everything that they read. Our ancestors bled but will never be dead. You know that your people are God. When you can survive on my offer, become educators and doctors. The enemy's mad cause he's not us. You know that your people are God. When after racism and lynchings, you packing 1,000 inventions. Y'all niggas ain't paying attention. Or you know that your people are God. This is our planet. We was everywhere before anybody else was anywhere. We're the makers, the owners. Mankind was made in our image.
You know that your people are God. When after the savages take us, kidnap and murder and rape us, enslave us and still cannot break us. You know that your people are God. Whenever I step to my altar, the ancestors take what I offer and watch all my enemies falter. You know that your people are God. When after the savages take us, kidnap and murder and rape us, enslave us and still cannot break us. You know that your people are God. Whenever I step to my altar, the ancestors take what I offer and watch all my enemies falter. You know that your people are God. Who on this planet can stop a black woman? Chasing my seeds, you better take heed. When we wake up, all my enemies bleed. I'm a new African, whitey can't stop, Bucky can't steal, and Heather can't block. Let's make it clear like a shot of Ciroc. I'ma get free while y'all wait on Barack. We gods, when we don't vote. We gods when they got us chained up on the boat. We gods in the pen, we gods in the bricks. There's nothing wrong with us that we cannot fix. Don't know your power, you can't see the light. This is your hour, you ready to fight? A mother, a sister, a warrior, wife. I know I'm a god, with that on my life. You know that your people are gods. When they infect you with the virus, you still having babies despite this. Can't help it, the whole woman's lifeless. You know that your people are gods. When they infect you with the virus, you still having babies despite this. Can't help it, the whole woman's lifeless. You know that your people are gods.
gas.
When the sun is eclipsed,
Nice little drive. I've made it several times.
I will unleash the Kraken.
Do you know what the Kraken is? The Kraken is the end of us. A colossal elemental beast. It doesn't think, it doesn't feel. Even the gods fear it.
Release the Kraken!
When you know that your people are God, you do what it takes to defend them. Get at whoever's against them, and don't hesitate to avenge them. When you know that your people are God, you thankful that you in their likeness. Ain't no more worshiping whiteness, and killing your enemies righteous. When you know that your people are God, you do what it takes to defend them. Get at whoever's against them, and don't hesitate to avenge them. When you know that your people are God, you thankful that you in their likeness. Ain't no more worshiping whiteness, and killing your enemies righteous. When you know that your people are God, come on, you know that they only on top cause we left. When we wake up we gon' get them and put them back where our ancestors should've left them. Yeah, I said F them, but y'all gon' protect them. If it's between them and God, you select them. Worship they idols, your spirit erect them. They killing our people, why can't you reject them? The Bible's corrupt, the Quran is corrupt. As long as they use them to subjugate us. If the religion not picking us up, then put the book down and don't pick it back up. We gods, the scriptures are you. We already did everything that they do. Africans wrote everything that they read. Our ancestors bled but will never be dead. You know that your people are God. When you can survive on my alpha, become educators and doctors. The enemy's man cause he's not us. You know that your people are God. We're after racism and lynching. You patting 1,000 inventions. Y'all niggas ain't paying attention. Or you know that your people are God. This is our planet. We was everywhere before anybody else was anywhere. We're the makers, the owners. Mankind was made in our image.
You know that your people are God. When after the savages take us, kidnap and murder and rape us, enslave us and still cannot break us. You know that your people are God. Whenever I step to my altar, the ancestors take what I offer and watch all my enemies falter. You know that your people are God. When after the savages take us, kidnap and murder and rape us, enslave us and still cannot break us. You know that your people are God. Whenever I step to my altar, the ancestors take what I offer and watch all my enemies falter. You know that your people are God. Who on this planet can stop a black woman? Chase my seeds, you better take heed. When we wake up, all my enemies bleed. I'm a new African, whitey can't stop, Bucky can't steal, and Heather can't block. Let's make it clear like a shot of Ciroc. I'ma get free while y'all wait on Barack. We gods, when we don't vote. We gods when they got us chained up on my boat. We gods in the pen, we gods in the bricks. There's nothing wrong with us that we cannot fix. Don't know your power, you can't see the light. This is your hour, you ready to fight? A mother, a sister, a warrior.
Hey.
I know I'm a god, put that on my life. You know that your people are gods. When they infect you with the virus, you still having babies despite this. Can't help it, the whole womb is lifeless. You know that your people are gods. When they infect you with the virus, you still having babies despite this. Can't help it, the whole womb is lifeless. You know that your people are gods.
when the sun is eclipsed, I will unleash the Kraken.
Do you know what the Kraken is? The Kraken is the end of us. A colossal elemental beast. It doesn't think, it doesn't feel. Even the gods fear it.
Release the Kraken!
When you know that your people are God, you do what it takes to defend them. Get at whoever's against them, and don't hesitate to avenge them. When you know that your people are God, you thankful that you in their likeness. Ain't no more more worshiping whiteness and killing your enemies righteous. When you know that your people are God, you do what it takes to defend them. Get at whoever's against them and don't hesitate to avenge them. When you know that your people are God, you thankful that you in they likeness. Ain't no more worshiping whiteness and killing your enemies righteous. When you know that your people.
All right. Peace and power. Y'all let me know in the comments. Make sure we have audio. But peace and power family, Black Power family. Welcome to the Nu Afrikan Temple. I am the spiritual leader of the Nu Afrikan Temple, Baba Amin Ojuwo. Yeah, it's on. It's on today. You know, I'm feeling good right now. We got dinner on, you know, supper, you know, on Sundays, black folks start fixing supper early, you know. So Mama and Koyo, and shout out to Mama and Koyo, definitely doing her thing. Shout out to my beautiful children, my whole family, you know, everybody. And shout out to everybody that's watching right now, that's going to take a few minutes out with me each and every Sunday to talk, to dialogue, you know, to exchange ideas, to uplift one another. You know what I'm saying? To look at ourselves as divinity, in the divinity picture, you know, to explore who we are. Briefly, the Nu Afrikan Temple, we are African-centered universalists. All right. Spiritually, we're African-centered universalists. We're a universalist ministry in that we're not caught up in the labels. We're not caught up in your religious labels. You know what I'm saying? That often divide us, you know, even inside of the religion. You know, you have First Baptist, Second Baptist, you know, but we have issues with Christian versus Muslim, Muslim versus Moor, so on and so forth, right? But we're African-centered universalists. In other words, we focus on the key values, the Iwapele, the good character, the key values that the spiritual system teach, the type of people that the spiritual system is molding, and not necessarily on what you call God or how you choose to worship God, right? But we're African-centered in that our approach is strictly, this ministry is strictly about African people finding ourselves in the divinity picture and building spiritual unity among black people, building spiritual unity among African people across the globe, right? Not attacking nobody else. This just that this ministry is for us. It's for us to build and cultivate spiritual and cultural unity amongst ourselves, to get engaged in our communities, to make sure that our children are learning our story, to make sure we're creating safe spaces inside of our community for our people to grow and our people to heal from the Ma'afa, right? So that's what the goal of the Nu Afrikan Temple is. So you could be a Christian and be a member of the Nu Afrikan Temple. You could be a Muslim. You could be a Black Hebrew. You could be a Moor. If you believe that it's time for us to learn how to come together based on those principles and values that we have in common, then the Nu Afrikan Temple is for you. All right. Now, formerly known as the Temple of Nu Afrikan Unity, I want to formally announce that the Temple of Nu Afrikan Unity within itself is dissolved. All right. We've now, instead of focusing on having a brick and mortar location where we all come together, you know, movements move. So now we're going to take this ministry and we're going to treat it as such. And we're going to put it online. We're going to make it mobile. So we'll still be meeting in the community for Temple, but we're going to do it at different places on different sides of town. We're going to move with this thing, almost like some Black Power evangelism going on. You know what I'm saying? Well, we're preaching unity and spiritual unity and cultural awareness amongst our people. Do y'all have a problem with that? Is that all right? So we've rechristened this ministry as the Nu Afrikan Temple. All right. Also, you see the NAT paying homage to the great Nat Turner. But before I go any further, we need to pray and we need to pay homage to our ancestors. Ashe? All right. So what I would like you to do is, if there's an ancestor whose name you'd like for me to pour in representative of doing libations, there's an ancestor you'd like to call out, put that ancestor's name in the comments. We're going to do that first, then we're going to pray. Ashe. All right. I like to get us started. I like to pour libations for my mother, Alice Baker. Ashe. All right. And you could put your Ashe in the comments. You know what I'm saying? That would be cool, right? And I know I'm on a slight delay, so we're going to pause here, but I'm going to keep pouring libation. I like to pour libations for my brother, Kenneth Darren Thomas. Ashe. I like to pour libation for Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Ashe. Ashe. Rick Ross, like to pour libation for Faye Ross. Ashe. Ashe. Wilhelmina, like to pour libation for Florence Brown Ross. Ashe. Ashe. I like to pour libation for my wife's little cousin Ricky. Ashe. 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 I like to pour libation for Harriet Tubman. Ashe. I like to pour libation for Sojourner Truth. Ashe. I like to pour libation for Malcolm X, also known as El Hajj Malik Al-Shabazz. Ashe. Ashe. I like to pour libations for Ola Morns. Ashe. Ashe. I like to pour libation for the Right Reverend, the first pastor of the Nu Afrikan Temple, Nat Turner. Ashe. Ashe. I like to pour libation for Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. Ashe. I'm actually pouring libation into a plant that really, really needs libation. All right. All right. I like to pour libation for my father, Robert Parker. Ashe. Ashe. All right. All right. And Arthur Henderson. Ashe. 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 All right. So at this time, I like to pour Baby Deuce. Ashe. 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 Invite Baby Deuce to be here with us. Arthur Henderson to be here with us. Right? All those who transitioned during the middle passage. Ashe. 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 At this time, we pour libation for all those we have not named, but we certainly have not forgotten. Ashe. 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 All right. All right. All right. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. I love bringing the ancestors in, y'all. You know, and it's through the ancestors that we speak. I don't prepare notes. I don't really prepare outlines too much. I pretty much pray and ask the ancestors to guide my thoughts when I speak. And that's what we're doing today. That's what we've been doing since we started Temple. So thank you, Asheo, for all the ancestors that we brought into the room. Ashe. Ashe. All right. All right. Now, you know, let's go into prayer. There's never been a mighty African nation that wasn't spiritual at its roots. I know many of us pray in different ways. I am in no way telling you this is how to pray. I'm just offering up a prayer to the divine, to the deity, whatever you call the deity, however you envision, you know what I'm saying? As an African, you know, we're going to offer up this prayer. Creator, we come to you humbly. We come to you appreciative for another opportunity to fellowship together, another opportunity to build together, another opportunity to express how we feel, to express our intelligence, another opportunity to come together and be creative, just another opportunity to breathe this air and to fight for African liberation. Creator, thank you for our ancestors, thank you for our peers, and thank you for our children, for they're our future. In the name of all those in the great line of divine, we pray, Amin Ra. All right, all right. All right, and for those of you that may be confused by Amin Ra, Amin Ra is an ancient Kemetic deity, which means the seen and the unseen, the all in all, right? And when you say Amin, Amin actually comes from Amin Ra. And at one time, the deity was just worshipped as Amin. At one time, the deity was worshipped as Ra, but at another time, it was Amin Ra, which Ra being the sun, the light. You know, we say God is the light. Everything that you see, and Amin being those things that are there, but that you don't see. You don't see the air. Like if you see your air, you're being poisoned. That's air pollution. You don't see the air, but you know it's there. You breathe it and you need it. So there are things that we see that give us life, and there are things that we don't see that give us life. Ashe? Oh man, our ancestors were wise, right? Ain't nothing new under the sun. And that's part of what this ministry is all about, you know, is taking the stigma off of ancient African spirituality, to just kill this whole notion that we don't come from nothing, to kill this whole notion that black people don't come from religion and black people don't come from spirituality, right? We want to kill that notion with this ministry, you know, because it's not true. You wasn't found in Africa worshiping the tree, worshiping the dead, They came to, number one, you wasn't found in Africa. Everybody knew you was there. You were there first, right? So nobody found you. No one discovered black people. Okay. Black people discovered everybody else. Black people made everybody else. Okay. So let's just kill that whole mode of thinking off top. Right. But when the slave masters or what have you, the colonizers came into Africa, they didn't find a backward, ignorant people that had no sense of spirituality. They had no sense of a presence, you know what I'm saying, that we can't see, but we feel that it's there. Right? They didn't find that. They didn't find people with bones in their nose just hollering ooga booga and trying to put white women in pots like they show on the Tarzan movies. They found a highly spiritual people, so much so that Africans were called the spiritual people by outsiders, because when you came into ancient Africa, you found people who paid reverence to everything around them and paid reverence to the forces in the universe that made everything possible. You also found a prosperous people. They didn't come into Africa and find people that were starving, people who didn't know how to grow their own food. They didn't find a people without technology. They found a people with advanced technology, advanced based on what they needed to survive, right? You don't chart the stars if you haven't mastered how to eat. You don't have time. You don't have time to build great temples and pyramids if you haven't mastered how to get water. If you haven't mastered farming, if you haven't mastered other means of survival, you don't accomplish those other things, right? So they didn't find an ignorant people, and they know that. They know that, right? They purposely whitewash African history because you can't wipe out the pyramids. They're still there, right? You can't wipe out the great Sphinx or Her-am Akhet because it's still there. You can't wipe out the great kingdoms of Mali and Timbuktu, the University of St. Croix, Great Zimbabwe, Azania, all the other great African empires that came up through the years, because the evidence is still there. Those Africans were so in tune. They were so powerful that they left clues and they left monoliths and temples and artifacts behind to remind us of their legacy. And if that's not spiritual power, I don't know what is, right? If that's not a spiritual people, the Great Pyramid was built over 5,000 years ago. That's Khufu's pyramid. Khufu, you know that's a brother. Ain't no white boy named Khufu. Khufu's pyramid, the world's greatest structure, 48 stories high, 755 feet wide, took 2,300,000 stones to build, with the average weight being around 3 tons. These were African people. They say it was perfect on all sides. The bricks were so tight you couldn't slide a card in between the bricks. Then his son came behind him, Khafre, and built the pyramid. Not as big as his father. He wasn't going to show his father up, but he lined it up. Then Menkaure, the grandson, came. He built the pyramid. He lined it up. All 3 pyramids together sit perfectly up under the star constellation Orion. You saying these ain't a spiritual people? Whoo. Well, what type of principles did these people live by? The topic today is black folk losing their religion? I'm going to say it again. The topic of the day is black folk losing their religion, right? Now, this title is very deliberate, okay? And again, I don't use notes. We're just going to let it flow, and we're going to see what the ancestors bring forth. I got good news, and I got some not so good news today. The good news is a lot of black folks is losing their religion. Now, I know I use some hood vernacular every now and then, right? But that's all right. To me, that's black linguistic genius. But anyway, when I say the good news is black folk is losing their religion. Have you ever said, hey man, they need to come get their stuff? Like a lot of times in the hood, we don't say y'all need to come. They need to come get their stuff. We say they need to come get their stuff. Whose stuff is that? That's their stuff. That's their stuff right there. That's their stuff. That's their car. Who calls that? That's their car. That's they car right there. Y'all ain't never used they as a possessive pronoun or like a plural possessive pronoun before instead of their. We do that in the hood, so in the black community sometimes. Man, that's they car right there. Them they clothes, right? They need to come get their clothes. Right now, that's what they need to do because they got to get up out of here. They need to come get their stuff and get up out of here. Y'all use that vernacular, right? So when I say the good news, black folks are losing their religion. There's a lot of Africans out here that are getting rid of the religion of the slave master. There are a lot of Africans out here. I'm meeting Africans all the time that are saying, I can't pray to a white God anymore. Now I see what the psychological game has been this whole time. I've learned my history and now I understand that Western Christianity was imposed upon us through slavery. I understand that we were given an image of a white Christ in order to subjugate us spiritually and mentally to white people, and I don't want that anymore. I understand that I was torn away from my culture, torn away from my spiritual systems. I don't even know what they are now. I understand I was torn away from them. And now what I've been doing, even if it's been working for me, even if I'm happy in this, I've grabbed some principles and values that I keep with me inside of this system, the imagery inside of this system. And what it does to me psychologically ain't working. It ain't working for me, and I'm going to reject that. I'm giving them back their religion. I'm losing their religion. So a lot of black people are looking, and they're going and they're seeing ancient African spiritual systems like Yoruba. And they're looking in Yoruba and they're saying, wow, we do some of this stuff in church. It's like catching the Holy Ghost. That's like bringing out the agungun. Because I be catching the spirit. Something comes over me in church. And also, this is African. This didn't come with Jesus. We had this before Jesus. Okay, these are the ancestors coming forward. Oh, when we talk about angels and all of that, that's just like venerating the ancestors. When we say that they die and they go to heaven, they're in another realm. They exist in another realm. Oh, that's an African teaching. Oh, so a lot of that stuff. Oh. And then they start studying great scholars. Maybe you got exposed to some great scholars like Dr. Yosef Ben Yakinen. Maybe you've been exposed to Ashra and Marira Kwesi. And they actually walk you into these ancient African temples and show you the origins of Christianity. Then you go back and you go into your Baptist conventions and all of that, and they don't want to talk about no African origins of Christianity. They don't acknowledge African origins of Christianity. Matter of fact, they just gave you a packet of children's books to take back to the church. And in the children's book, Adam, Eve, Noah, Moses, Aaron, everybody white. From Adam to Christ, everybody white. Even though it took place in Northeast Africa, everybody white. King Solomon, African king, is white. Queen Makeba, the Queen of Sheba is white. Everybody white. Samson's white. Delilah's white. They either like brown-haired whites or black-haired whites. And a lot of us have said, man, I can't do that. I can't do that. While I can follow the commandments, this imagery that all of divinity looks like the European, and I come out here at the same time, my chief adversary when I'm trying to do something for my community is European. My chief adversary when I'm trying to be treated like a first-class citizen is a European, and then I got to close my eyes and pray and see a European, and then I look at them and they claiming the same white God I'm claiming, and somehow that God is okay with what they're doing to me. Then you look up and you realize that the KKK is a white Christian organization. Like, man, we worshiping the same Jesus. Then why are they bombing black churches? And so the confusion can step in. So you start saying, well, oh, now I see why my history was blocked from me, because learning my history will mess this thing up for white Christ. Whew. So a lot of black folk is losing their religion. When I say their religion, right, I'm talking about the European religion. A lot of black people are like, no, I'm seeking truth now. A lot of stay in there, though. A lot stay in the church and say, you know what, I'm going, because I love the people here, because I love the pastor, I love the congregation, and we do believe in helping people in this church, and we some good people in this church, and I've grown with these people, grown up with these people. I'm going to stay. I'm just going to eat the fish and throw away the bones. A lot of people do that. Say, because the church can be a resource for us. The church, so I'm going to eat the fish. So when pastors start talking about the Greeks created law, or pastors start talking about this and that, and they want to put this white Jesus up, I'm going to say something. I'm not going to leave, and I'm going to say something. Or maybe I don't. Maybe I just eat the fish and throw away the bones. I take the good stuff that's good for me, and then I throw the rest away. But now you're sitting in there and you're feeling incomplete. Now you're sitting in there and you're not as fulfilled as you used to be because you know more. You're not as fulfilled as you used to be because the world used to be 4,000 to 6,000. I think the Bible places man's creation around 4,000 years ago, 6,000 years ago. And now you done learned some history and you know that we've been here for over millions of years. You know that Africans been here for millions of years, so you got to ignore that part. Then you realize that the Garden of Eden that they talk about in the scriptures is actually in Africa, but ain't nobody pointing that out. And you just want to scream it. But you want to tell white folks, don't you know you messing with divinity? Because you know now. You know that everything they believe comes from your ancestors. But you got to go to work, just kind of be quiet. So you're doing all this holding in, right? All that you getting this truth, all this holding in, and sometimes that church just can't hold you once you embark on that journey. But at the same time, if the source is the church is a real source of something positive for you, you don't want to leave. Where you gonna go? Where you gonna go? So a lot of us kind of stay put, eat the meat, throw away the bones. Some of us leave though. Some of us, we out. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't look at the white Christ. It's not that I all of a sudden, hey, white folks, it's just that I'm tired of looking at God and praying to a God that look like the people that subjugate me. And it don't make sense to me to pray to a God that don't look like me. And I look at the world and only oppressed people pray to other people's God. The only people in the world who pray to gods that don't look like them are controlled by the people that look like their God. And I don't want to be controlled by anybody. I thought that was the whole point, was to be free. So that image, right? And then if I got to go at them, whether I got to go at them politically, whether we got to go against them physically, whether we got to go against them spiritually, we can't do it because every time we see them, we see Jesus. Every time we see them, we see God. So we get out in public and we be fighting for our rights until they get offended. As soon as they get offended, we turn it around. A high-ranking education official shared with me last week. She was in a meeting. They was talking about what they're going to do for black boys in the public school. What are they going to do? What type of programs? The black professionals finally got the conversation rolling, right? Then they say all of a sudden a white woman say, well, I'm kind of offended because we're only talking about black children. What about Hispanic children? Now, they hadn't come to any conclusions. They ain't came out the meeting with nothing. They ain't decided what they're going to do for black boys. They ain't done none of that, right? They ain't made no decision whatsoever, right? But all of a sudden, here come the white lady, shifted it. Boom! Shifted, pow! But what about Hispanic? So one black professional stood up, and somebody that I happen to life coach, I'm not going to name no names, one black professional stood up and said, wait a minute, we haven't come to a conclusion about black boys yet, about African-American children yet. I'm not saying that Hispanic children don't need programs. As a matter of fact, they have over 78 programs already implemented inside of our school district. African-American children have 0 programming that's specifically targeting their success inside of our school district. 77 to 0. Can we come out of this conversation with one program for African-American children? White woman wouldn't have it. She was so upset. She went to the sister after the meeting, was like, I felt like you were targeting me when you were talking about black people, and talking about we're showing our whiteness when we don't come to conclusions about black children. And she said, why are you offended? Because you're white. Why are you offended? You're offended that we want to come to a conclusion for African children only, black children only because you're white? The white lady was like, well, yeah, that's the problem. Everything ain't about you. But see, if she was still in that old slave mind, because we do this a lot, as soon as somebody make us ashamed for standing up for black children, ashamed for standing up for ourselves by saying all lives matter, we change the conversation. A lot of us cave in. Oh, I'm so wrong. I'm sitting here saying Black Lives Matter. Oh, I'm racist. I'm no different than the KKK. You way different than the KKK. You ain't burn no crosses. You way different than the KKK. You ain't lynch nobody. You way different than the Ku Klux Klan. You ain't burn no churches. You way different than the racist government. You're not over sentencing black children or white children to prison. You way different than them. But as soon as you have a sentiment toward doing something specific for yourself, someone shames you out of doing that, making you feel racist for standing up for you, as if you don't need to be stood up for. And that's directly linked to your spirituality. That's directly linked to not wanting to anger God. One of the biggest lessons on the plantation. One of the biggest lessons that preacher had to teach. And thank God Nat Turner turned it around, because he was one of the best at it. One of the biggest lessons was, obey your earthly master like you obey your heavenly master. Whoo. So if you defy your earthly master, you defy God. That's a hell of a teaching to teach an enslaved person. Turn the other cheek, and if he hit you on that cheek, let him smite you on the other. That's a hell of a... So when black people would fight back, white people didn't have to stand in. You had black people with theological miseducations ready. What are y'all doing? That is violence is not the answer. Man, I ain't picking no more cotton. I'm finna burn this thing down. Well, they gonna kill you if you do it. That's all right. Don't you say that if we die for a righteous cause, we going to heaven? Well, ain't nothing righteous about burning up people's stuff. Ain't nothing righteous about killing massa. That ain't right. Murder is murder for you. For you. Don't burn nothing down. Don't boycott anything. Right? Now it got us so good, it's almost racist to own a black business. It's almost racist to build a black business and to support it. That's race. That's called black militancy. That's black militancy. Now everybody around us is building businesses. And we're supporting it. We're the most non-racist consumers in the world. We supporting everybody. But as soon as we begin to build, here comes the guilt and the shaming. As soon as we get in the game, man, we want to build our communities back up again. Remember back in the 30s and the 40s, 50s? Man, y'all don't want that. That was the segregation times. Now you can live wherever you want to live, but I want to live with black people in a powerful, rich, wealthy black community. That's where I want to live. Let's build one. What? So you just gonna shut out everybody. So you's a separatist. You want to be separate from everybody else. Everybody's separate from you, fool. Even when you live on their street, they not with you. Ask Meek Mill now. Ask your celebrities where they live. Oh, man. That's directly linked. But some of our people, a lot of our people are losing their religion. That don't mean you're not going to be a Christian no more. It's just that the Christ has spoken to you and has told you, hey, take ownership. Stop letting them paint me white. Hey, stop calling me Jesus. Okay, there was no J in the language that we spoke. Use Yeshua or some other African equivalent. Stop being a punk when representing me. Stop letting these people enslave folk in my name, colonize people in my name. One of the first time you was introduced to the name Jesus in West Africa was on a slave ship, the good ship Jesus, funded by the UK, Queen Elizabeth herself. We watching the royal. I don't watch no royal wedding. I know where they got all the stuff from. I know where they got all the riches from. I don't watch that because I lost their religion. I lost their religion years ago. Years ago. And a lot of folk are waking up. Their religion is for them. Their religion is for them. It's not for you. It's not for you. I said their religion. Now, religion and belief is two different things. Me and you can believe in the same deity, but go about worshiping that deity in a different way. Me and you can both believe in Christ. That don't mean we got the same Christ, see the same Christ, or worship the same Christ in the same way. Because they Christ say it's okay to kill you. They Christ say that it was okay to kill Trayvon Martin. They Christ say it was okay to kill Mike Brown. They Christ is even telling some of them that we need a ethnic cleansing of black people in America. You better study. You better study. They Christ say it ain't rape if a white man rapes a black woman. They Christ say it ain't rape if a white man rapes a black child. You better study. I ain't saying all of them. I'm just saying historically and even present day, we can find tangible examples of devout white Christians who believe in pedophilia, who believe in racism, colonization, ethnic cleansing. They believe in what's eugenics, a whole host of things that you don't even believe in. Then you got your Christian white liberals. Well, what does it mean to be liberal? Liberal and being free, they ain't the same thing. Liberal is more like I ain't got no boundaries. Okay? So now you got the liberals. Well, come on over here with us. Because we want to be openly nasty. So we want to put the open nastiness and connect it to your freedom. Right? We want to normalize homosexuality. We want to redefine it. We want to redefine it. Matter of fact, and then we're going to evolve it. I'm not getting no debate with y'all today. We're going to redefine homosexuality. Then we're going to evolve it into pansexuality, where it's okay to just love everything. Then we're going to bring in bestiality, and then we're going to roll in that pedophilia on you. We're going to normalize that. See the guy that ran for the Senate in Alabama, what's his name? Roy? I forget his last name. Roy Moore. Right? Knowing where he's from to go after teenage girls. They came forward, say, man, he approached me in the mall. Whoop, 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 right? Well, yeah, and it was a big old controversy, right? But you had a lot of his followers that said, well, you know, girls were getting married as early as 13 in the Bible. You had people, white Christians, making a spiritual defense for him. Stop me when I'm wrong. See, everybody ain't your Christian brother. But what we do is you look at a black Muslim who probably culturally and spiritually believes more. You probably have culturally and spiritually more in common with this black Muslim than the white Christian. But you'll call the white Christian your spiritual brother before you call the black Muslim your spiritual brother. And you haven't even explored the principles and values of either. You just looked at the label. Does that make sense? Black folks is losing their religion. But I got some not so good news though. Because a lot of us, in the midst of losing their religion, we losing our religion too. See, even inside of their religion, it don't work if it don't have some of our religion in it. And what is religion? Religion just means to realign with the universe. That's it. It means to achieve spiritual and mental, a system through which you can achieve spiritual and mental balance. So you'll get out here and you'll make decisions that feed your life rather than destroys your life. That's what a religion is. And religion is man-made. Okay? These are man-made systems. Now, there are man-made systems through divining, though. There are systems made by man through divining, through communing with nature, communing with the universe, looking and saying, okay, look, if I kill him when I'm mad at him, then I lose a work partner when it's time to harvest. So let me put this down, shall not kill in here, right? If I oppress the woman, then I suppress one half of my intellect, right? So let me not suppress her. Because when you go back to ancient Africa, when you go back to the first people to have what you call religion, with one of the oldest spiritual systems being Ma'at. Ma'at was all about balance and harmony and reciprocity, right? And it was based on studying nature, finding reciprocity in nature, balance in nature. Birds don't have 3 wings, right? They balance it out with what? With these 2, right? And then they have a tail feather to bring even more balance to flight. It's all about what? Balance, right? If we have a harvest of food and I eat 90% of it and you only get 10% of it, that's out of what? Out of balance. So our ancestors were building systems through which we could maintain balance thousands upon thousands of years ago, writing it down, carving it in stone, passing this information from generation to generation. So religion's not a bad word, because if you fall out of balance, you need to be realigned. And a lot of times, y'all, we'll walk away from spiritual systems because they got those lies in it, and we don't walk into anything, and then we fall out of balance. There was an aspect of where you was that calmed you down. There was an aspect that where you was made you pray. Some of us stop praying when we leave. I'm not saying everybody. Some of us stop praying. Some of us start claiming to be atheists and don't believe that anything else exists. That's not an African philosophy. Some of us just get lost, and you find yourself smoking again. You didn't smoke when you was in the mosque. You didn't smoke when you was in the church. You didn't smoke when you had your fez on. You was on fire. Some of us start drinking again. You had stopped. Some of us start cussing again. Some of us start eating bad foods again and letting ourselves go. And you look up and you say, man, I ain't got the discipline I used to have. I left that church, though. I left that mosque. I left all that stuff, man. All that talking about some Allah and invisible God. My God's African, man. I'm trying to Ogun. And we're doing it, but you left your discipline there. And you look up and your relationships are in trouble. You don't know how to relate to the people in your life. You're blowing up on people. You're angry all the time because in the midst of losing their religion, you lost yours too. In the midst of losing their stuff, you lost your stuff because your stuff was already in there. The 10 Commandments come from the 42 laws of Ma'at. That's where they come from, right? But they're more powerful in Ma'at, in that ancient system. Instead of saying, thou shalt not steal, right? Thou shalt, like somebody preaching to you, like somebody's civilizing you. See, this is how it had to be brought to Europe, right? Africans had to come to Europeans and say, look, thou shalt not kill, okay? No, don't do that. You can't kill her over that. No, don't do that. Look. Thou shalt not steal. I know you're bigger than he is, but that doesn't mean it's okay to go take their stuff. No, don't burn the whole village down and kill everyone in it. Okay? I know that's what you've been doing, but don't do that. See, you have to present that to Europe like that. But our ancestors, the writers, the original writers of the text said, I have not. Well, you wake up in the morning, you say, I will not. You say, I will not steal from others. And then you go throughout your day and you keep that command. And at the end of the day, you go back home, you say, I have not stolen from others. You wake up, I will not kill. Then you come back home, you say, I have not killed. You wake up and you make a promise, I will not tell lies today. Then you come back home and you say, whew, I told a couple of lies. No, so I'm sure somebody say that, man. I did. I'm going to try again tomorrow. But if you didn't, you come back home and you say, I have not lied today. See, when you get up and you give yourself affirmations of what you're going to do each day, you're convicting yourself first thing in the morning. As opposed to a system that says, I can really do whatever I want to do as long as I ask for forgiveness when I'm done. Boy, what a cold trick your enemy play on you. Like, wait a minute, man, you kidnapping me. You raping my wife. You're enslaving my children. You're killing my fathers. Ain't your God going to strike you down? And then look at you and say, my God is a forgiving God. My God's going to forgive whatever I do. I'm saved. I'm going to heaven. Matter of fact, you're going to hell. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold up. So you telling me, because I don't accept your God, right? But I didn't conquer you. I'm not attacking you. I'm raising my family. We're surviving. I'm one with nature. I'm doing everything I need to do. I'm pleasant. I'm peaceful. You're saying I'm going to hell. But you who have conquered me, after I welcomed you in, you're stealing my natural resources. You're raping my women. You're enslaving my children. You're going to heaven simply because you're going to ask for forgiveness before you die. Where's the accountability in that? So what we do, though, we walk around with these European sensibilities, almost this European mindset, feeling like we can do whatever we want to do because we're going to be forgiven in the end, too. Even after you leave their religion, you have left your religion. Your religion, when you're realigned, you believe in reciprocity. When you're realigned, you believe in righteousness. You believe in balance. Now, when I say balance, I'm not talking about being goody-goody. I'm talking about balance. Balance means you're going to have the joy and the pain, the sunshine and the rain. You need both of them. When you balance, righteousness is balance. And so many of us are still out of balance, even in our so-called consciousness. We're out of balance because in the midst of leaving their stuff, we're leaving our stuff behind as well. Culturally, we leave our stuff behind. Historically, we leave our stuff behind. Some of us make up whole new histories, whole new identities. You know, we're not really Africans. You know, we're not really this. We're really from the planet. You know, we're really this, but you ain't even learned the story. You ain't even learned the actual story yet. You ain't even know how we got here, and we taking on these new identities from these YouTube gurus and things like that. And we don't even know the story. How did we get here? When you in church, when you in mosque, whether you're Black Hebrew, when you're a Rasta, whatever it is that you believe in, everything you learn about spirituality is laced in history. It's laced with stories. It's laced with some sort of historical or cultural reference. When you're inside of a system that makes no cultural reference toward you, or when they do make a cultural reference, it puts you in an inferior position. That is not the system for you, or you need to take ownership of that system and fix it. You don't come from demons and heathens. That's not where you come from. And do not get into the consciousness movement, the Black Power movement, grabbing white liberalism. That is not your culture. We ought to be able to hug each other as a people without being obligated to hug everybody else, so won't nobody think we racist. What they don't want to think is that we love ourselves independently. And what are they afraid of? Are they afraid that if we truly love ourselves, that we won't love them? Maybe they make so much money. Maybe, maybe the LGBTQ movement is like, no, too much Black self-affirmation might turn the Black community away from our cause. Maybe the Asian merchant in your community knows that too much Black unity, too much Black affirmation might hurt our pockets. If they start realizing they can do nails too and start supporting each other, that's going to hurt the Asian economy. If they start realizing that they can raise their children to own and operate stores in their community too, that's going to hurt the Arab American economy. Maybe some people are just too vested in our lack of unity, too vested in our willingness to be second-class citizens, in our willingness to be consumers that just want to be treated well. Maybe people are too vested in that to really want you to know who you are, whose you are, and how you got here. But that's not our problem. That's not our problem. Y'all, this hurts too much. I'm tired. It hurts to not be powerful enough to prevent police terrorism in our community. It hurts. It hurts to not even be able to hold anyone accountable. That hurts. It hurts to watch our children sit up and not learn the glory of Africa, to come home and talk about King Henry and Queen Elizabeth and don't know anything about Queen Nefertari or King Tutankhamun or King Khufu or the great Kandakes of Merowe. That hurts. It hurts to see African children get on each other when they being smart by saying things like, "Why you acting white?" To equate white with intelligence. That hurts. It hurts to see a young African child, 5, 6-year-old boy that can tell you that he a real nigga. And fuck you, he 5. Fuck you, I'm a real nigga at 5. That hurts, man. Or a little girl that I saw a video the other day, a little girl about 3 years old popping it on a chair and her mama making it rain on her with money. That hurts, man. That hurts. And that all comes from education. It all comes from us not knowing who we are, whose we are, not having pride in that. It comes from being a part of spiritual systems that don't hold us accountable. Spiritual systems that don't tell us we're beautiful the way we are. They don't. Your spiritual system don't do that. Your spiritual system tells you to assimilate. You looking at a long-haired, stringy-eyed Jesus? You looking at a long-haired, stringy-eyed angels? Or you looking at an invisible Allah surrounded by Arab caliphs? You think you're only a man if you put on a European suit? You think you're only refined if you can speak the king's English? You have African people from the continent that don't use their African name. They use their European name. You got African people from the continent that identify with their colonizer. I know Senegalese. I have a Senegalese friend that says he's French. He ain't never been to France. He was born and raised in Senegal, but he's French. And knowing that that doesn't come from the French doing something great for Senegal. That comes from the French exploiting Senegal, enslaving Senegal, colonizing Senegal, and it hurts. It hurts to see a huge statue of a white god going up in Nigeria. It hurts. It hurts to see Christians who believe in that white god attacking those who believe in African spiritual traditions and calling them witches and saying they practicing witchcraft and being afraid of their own stuff. Man, that hurts, man. Then you turn around and you watching Twilight. You watching all these shows with white witches. You think it's cute. You taking your baby to the movies to see Thor and all these superheroes that are actually based on ancient African deities, but you scared of the African deity. If your baby come home with a Thor lunchbox, woo, that's a cool Thor lunchbox. But if you come home with a Shango lunchbox, what Thor is based off of, boy, get that voodoo up out of him. Get that up out of him. You losing your religion. You losing my eye. Black male and female relationships. Black men in our spiritual systems, our queen is right beside us. In our spiritual system, she's not a helpmeet. She's half. She's half of a whole. She's a part. She's a third of the Trinity. Black man, black woman, and black child. She's not your rib in African spirituality. Sitting up praying like woman is your rib, but you get in trouble, you calling your mama. You ain't calling your dad, you calling a woman. Say I'm trying to get a woman, trying to get a wife. Somebody accept your little dingy butt, but she your rib. A black woman ain't never been a rib. Ever. She still holds it down emotionally and mentally and spiritually for the black community and really for the planet. She ain't never been no rib. That's not your spirituality. When you go into ancient Africa and you study Ma'at and ancient African spiritual systems, you never find a god without a goddess. And it's like blasphemy to say goddess. It's like blasphemy in this society to say that there could be a female deity, a creatress. That's like blasphemy. Why? Why is it such a sin? Why is it a sin to worship a female god? I'll wait. What's wrong with the woman where she can't be God? That's why I like it when RBGs say the black woman is God. I don't even get into the debate. I just think people need to hear it. You just need to hear it and be able to be cool with hearing it. Some cats can't get that patriarchal thinking out their mind. Black woman is God. Now, really, the whole black family is God. And let's just that means she's still God. Just give her props. Remember when in the 90s, brothers, when the nation, a lot of us got exposed to the nations and the 5%, right? And it was like, the black man is God. Black woman is secondary but necessary, but the black man is God. And we was like, cool. We ran with that. And when you told the sister, you the earth. You the earth. And we wasn't trip. Black man is God. But as soon as somebody say black woman is God, oh, how's she God? Damn, you didn't debate you. You didn't debate you. You ran with it. You didn't debate you. Somebody came. Master Muhammad came. God came in the person of a man. Master ain't nobody. You ain't debate that. Why God didn't come in the person of Harry Tubman? Why God didn't come in the person of Jan Santewa? Why God didn't come in the person of Asada Shakur? Huh? God didn't come in the person of Queen Nzinga? God can't come in the person, of Queen Amina? Huh? Uh-oh. Queen Hatshepsut, the greatest ruler of all time, male, female, African, the greatest ruler of all time, Queen Hatshepsut of ancient Kemet was known as the daughter of God. Ooh. So you losing your religion. You don't want to see no daughter of God. You came from worshiping a son of God. And there ain't no evidence of Jesus' existence. I ain't tripping, but show me the Tekken. Show me the monolith. Show me the carving. Show me some DNA samples. Where is Christ? Where is the physical Christ? I'm not saying he didn't exist. I'm just saying there was a daughter of God, though. There was a daughter of God named Queen Hatshepsut who built these big Tekkens. They look just like the Washington Monument. That's where they stole them from. And on the Tekkens, on every side of the Tekken, she wrote scripture. Every side she was giving honor to God on every side. And she proclaimed herself as God's daughter, the daughter of Ra on every side. This a pagan? This is a spiritual black woman who ruled as both king and queen. I mean, she took on both responsibilities because her brother didn't want the job. She real. We got evidence. She existed. So yeah, the good news is a lot of us, we losing their religion. We putting their stuff down. The bad news is that a lot of us still losing our religion. Black folk losing their religion. They meaning us. The values, the character, huh? If you're going to put that down, what you going to pick up? A lot of us say, I know right from wrong. I don't need nothing. I know right from wrong. Fine. Have at it. I ain't telling you what to do. But a lot of the people that I've seen and I've been around, y'all know I travel the country. I deal with black people for a living. I don't work for nobody else. My whole life is dealing with African people. Okay, so when I speak about us, this is case study shit. This is not miseducated. This is case study stuff. A lot of the people that I know, even teachers, that say we know right from wrong. We don't need no systems. We know right from wrong. A lot of them wake up drinking, go to bed drinking. A lot of them can't maintain a family. A lot of them can't maintain stability in their lives. A lot of them are in constant conflict or having issues or having emotional issues, not being able to deal with them, having bottled up anger. A lot of them can't get nothing off the ground and nothing working for them because they just know right from wrong. They don't need nothing. They don't need a system, and they so undisciplined, but don't want to recognize it. See, when you have a huge ego and you lack discipline, you're going to rationalize everything that you do. You don't drink because you're an alcoholic. You just drinking because you need to calm down a little bit. You just drinking because you know that's what we do. This ain't bothering nothing. This is just what we do. It's not because I have some emotional issues that I haven't dealt with. It's not because I don't know how to grieve. I just like to have fun and feel good. And so I can do this and fight for the people at the same time. That's your ego. Sooner or later, you're going to have to look in that spiritual mirror. And you're going to have to listen to your ancestors and listen to your spirit when it tells you that you need to take a break. You need to put that down and clear your head. You need to heal. That there is power, spiritual power inside of you that can give you that euphoric feeling, but you have to tap into it. That you have the power to be high without external help. We all have to face that. We all have to face that and look at that work and do that work. We have to stop lying to ourselves. We have to heal our families. That takes work. And it takes a village. It takes a nation. You can't do it by yourself. You need to congregate with like-minded people who are on that same journey that can hold you accountable, that you can hold accountable, where y'all can study balance together, study the universe together, study improvement and growth together. That's what realignment, religion is for. We need to re-allegiance. We need a legion, religion among us. It don't have to be mine. It could be yours. It could be something that already exists. You can create something new, but create it in truth. The Nu Afrikan Temple is more than just a speech every week. The Nu Afrikan Temple is about us as Nu Africans exploring what we need to explore spiritually in order to heal. We have to heal. And we're not going to heal tomorrow. Buddha, you right. We need economic realignment. But we can't have economic realignment if we don't have spiritual and cultural realignment, because it's our spiritual and cultural misalignment that has destroyed our economic alignment. It's culturally wanting to be accepted by others and being willing to pay for it that got away from it. And the only way your self-esteem is so low that you need to be accepted by others is if it's been ordained by your God. That's the only way. If your spiritual system ain't lifting you up to the point where you don't need other people's acceptance, then you need to throw that away. So we got to have spiritual alignment and cultural alignment if we're going to have economic alignment. People talk about how we used to circulate the dollar, and they lie and they say we did it because they wouldn't let us come to white folks' business. That ain't why black people circulated the dollar. The ancestors want me to tell you that after slavery, when black people began to build townships all across America, they wasn't doing it because they couldn't go live next door to white people. They didn't want to live next door to white people. Why would you want to live next door to people who hang you, rape you, and enslave you? They wanted to be with each other and they wanted to heal. At the turn of the 20th century, when you had people like Joel Augustus Rogers and people like Arthur Schomburg and Marcus Mosiah Garvey, Island Boys, going and getting our story and coming and teaching the story to the people. See, now you got the land, you came off the plantation and it was a big land grab. Africans began to build townships and buy land. Now we want to know who we were because we knew white folks was lying. We knew that slavery was built on a lie. So now that great generation that we don't recognize enough in the midst of Jim Crow. And let me tell you why the Klan rose in 1921. The Klan rose because in the midst of Jim Crow, in the midst of Reconstruction, in the midst of white folks trying to recover from the Civil War, you came out nicely. Many of you came out the most skilled people in America. Many Africans came out seeking the truth about our origins, traveling the world. You came out looking for your family members and were finding each other, and you started clearing land for yourselves and leaving them alone. Wasn't bothering them. And you began to prosper. Not because you was forced to do it. See, that's what make us not want to do it now. We teach the story like they did. That was a form of oppression that they had, that we had Black Wall Street. That was because you couldn't go on their side of town. We didn't want to go on their side of town. They did it because they wanted to. Because that even in the midst of having a white God, even in the midst of being forced to have a Eurocentric education, we were still doing our stuff underneath that. Inside of that, we recognize what the lies were. We recognize what the white things, what it really symbolized. We were really trying to be righteous, really trying to follow commandments. Come on, man. Embracing education like no group had embraced education in this country before. White people weren't educated. They had an educated aristocracy. The working class white population was largely illiterate. It was the black population that said, no, everybody go for the ultimate in education. That was you. You set the standard for a public school system. That was you. It wasn't because you was forced to be around each other. It's because you wanted to be around each other and you needed space in order to heal. Because you had mud on you. You still had a patriarchy that you picked up from white folks that had black men oppressing white women. Oppressing black women. Got to flip up this narrative. And we have to want to be around each other again. But we have to educate ourselves and develop ourselves and mold ourselves into the people that we believe we should be. How disappointed do you get in black people and start talking as if you're not one of us? How disappointing when we kill each other, you go, man, we need to stop killing each other. How disappointed do you get? What, is there something in your spirit telling you that we are naturally nonviolent people? Because every other group kills each other. And they still buy land, they still start nations, they still do what they do. And somehow we believe that not killing each other is a key. And we want to be brothers. We want to be sisters. See, that's your culture. That's your religion. Your religion is people being family and extended family. That's your religion. That's not built into other cultures the same way. It's something that's very unique to us. But you can't drink out of their cup over here, the sex and aggression cup over here, and think you're going to bring African peace into this situation. I hope I'm making sense to y'all. Our growth is right here in our hands. But we have to know who we are. We have to know whose we are. And we have to re-legion. We have to realign with those ancient spiritual values that the world has been built upon. Your ancestors wrote that. That means they're yours by birthright. Not that other people can't take advantage. They have. Other people have not only taken advantage of what our ancestors taught, they've twisted it for their own benefit and denied you access to it. That's revolution. Go get it. It's here. Those ancestors, those great scholars, they did it. Those great African-centered theologians, they did it. They found it for us. Now we get to explore it. And now we get to define and redefine ourselves. Ain't that beautiful? So if you stay in the church, be a strong, aware, fearless African in the church. If you in the mosque, be a strong, aware, fearless African in the mosque. I'm sorry, y'all, but you didn't get your kinky hair from no bomb from one of our ancient scientists, okay? That's something that's in the NOI teachings that no. I'm sorry, no. You got that beautiful kinky hair from God. You got that wide nose from a God, them big old lips from a God, them big old bug eyes from a God, that chocolate skin, you got that from God. That swagger came from God. How you walk, how you talk, how you sing came from God. Everything about you came from God. Your mastery of science comes from God. Your mastery of mathematics comes from God. And you're such a master that the only way that you ain't at the top is when people deny you access. The only reason why you're not the top scientist in every category is because you're being denied access. The only reason an African nation can't run the nation when white folks leave is because while white folks are there, they're denying them access. When you get access, you master it and you take it to the next level. God has blessed you. The creator, the creatress, however you see the creator or creation or the deities, they have blessed you. Blessed you. You've taken the best punch that an unruly child could give. 500-year Ma'afa. You still here. You still having babies. I know black man endangered species. Ain't no such thing as an endangered African. No such thing. As long as there's a black man and a black woman, it's going to be a black child. Look at the population growth in Africa. Look at the population growth in some of the most devastating areas in the world. Then look at the population growth among Europeans. Enough said. All right. I hope y'all got something out of that. Any questions, comments, or concerns? And you can put them in the comments. It's good to see everybody that's there. Peace, Tyra Garrett. Peace, Daniel Russell. Renee Jolly. Peace. Please put the link to your academy, Renee, in the links. If you have a black-owned business, Wuda, y'all please put your information in the comments. Okay, let's make this something worth liking and sharing. We can't spread the dollar if we don't spread the word. But any questions, comments, or concerns, please, you can put them in the comments right now or list your business. I do want to shout out to my beautiful wife, Nkoyo Ojuwo. So proud of her. I want to shout out to her and the MVP Barber Lounge. They have partnered. Nkoyo, she is doing locks. She's doing the box braids, whatever natural style that you want, she can do it. She has a shop now at 6263 McCart Avenue here in Fort Worth, Texas. Shout out to Solomon Solo the Pro, the proprietor and owner of the MVP Barber Lounge. They cutting some great hair up in there too, y'all. One of our allies. Shout out to them. Shout out to my boy Supreme Ross, Supreme's Pull Up. He got the wings going on. I believe he's open Wednesday through Sunday. So, you know, if you into that, if you want to get you some good wings, I know he got the best in Fort Worth, period. You know what I'm saying? Want to shout him out. RBG Family Weekend is coming up. Please visit rbgfamilyweekend.info. I'm going to put it in the comments. I need everybody to subscribe to our site to get updates on what's going on with RBG Family Weekend. Okay. Vendor information is on there. We have some great vendor specials going this year. Some things we haven't done in the past. It's always about growth. Shout out to Sharon Owens and the Big House. Yep, we're doing it in the hood again this year, in the black community again this year. That's right. That's what we do. All right. So you need to vend. Okay. Vending opportunities are there. All right. I just put the link right there. Also, we are about to start tomorrow. We start our online Uhuru Academy online summer school. Okay. Inbox me, y'all. Look, it's not a punishment type summer school. They finna learn. These babies going ages 8 to 13. This first group, man, we learning history. Oh, they're gonna learn so much history. They're gonna math enrichment, reading comprehension, special skills, spiritual development, entrepreneurship, real estate. Oh, it's gonna be on 4-week program. They're gonna graduate from the program. It's only $200. That breaks down to $10 a day. $10 a day to invest in your child getting a leg up. It's not catching up. I'm talking getting a full leg up. If you need references, just you ain't even gotta just randomly ask anybody that's been associated with the Uhuru Academy what your baby's gonna get. Okay, so we have that. The adult African history class. Oh, this is gonna be a live class, a live discussion that we're gonna do every Saturday. I'm thinking Saturday, but it depends once I get some folks enrolled. We want to start next Sunday. I have a couple of people enrolled already. We're going to start with ancient Africa. Then we're going to move into African. We're going to do ancient Africa from 4 weeks. Then we're going to move into into African-American history for the 4 weeks after that. We're going to watch film together. You're going to have access to a book, a digital library with over 800 books. Whoa, we're going to have discussion on top of discussion. It's on. You're going to learn the things you didn't learn in school. And the goal is to spark you on your journey to find out truth, right? So if you're an adult and you want to get involved, I'm teaching that personally. And that tuition is only $200, y'all. That's come on, man. Come on, man. You spend more than that on a road trip. And I guarantee you're gonna get more. You're going to see more on this trip than you did on your last road trip. I guarantee you it ain't going to cost you no gas. I guarantee you're going to see more on this trip than you did on your last road trip. All right? Y'all, I've been called to teach. I've been called by the Creator. I've been called by the ancestors to teach. I've been teaching for over 27 years. This is what I do. This is what I do. I want to do it for you. Okay? I'm also a licensed minister. Okay, we do weddings. Your black love is black power. If you and your mate are talking about getting married, not only will I officiate your wedding, but my team and we have an African-centered wedding ceremony that we do. Get at me if y'all ready for those nuptials. Get at me. All right, and that includes counseling, the whole 9 yards. So holler at me for that too. Okay. All right. I'm also developing my life coaching services. I do want to be a part of your life. You know, I want to motivate you. I want to help you navigate your way through consciousness. I want to make sure that you're lifted up and that you're confident every day and that you're moving and doing the best that you can do, being the best African for yourself and for your people, for your family. I want to be a part of that challenge, a part of that journey with you as well. So get at me in my inbox to talk about life coaching as well. So I don't know what else to put out there. Oh, my birthday is coming up. June 18th is my birthday. right? It's my date of birth, my solar return, if we're going to be deep about it. I'll be 46 years wise this year. We are having a birthday party fundraiser on the 16th at the MVP Barber Lounge, 6263 McCart Avenue. It's going to be like a casino night, and we're raising funds for the Uhuru Academy. So we'll have some games. You'll pay a little something again. I think $25 to get in. We'll give you $100 worth of chips. Then you're just playing for chips, okay? The money that you spend to get your chips going towards the school, right? And so we're going to have some fun. I believe we're starting at 9 o'clock at the MVP Barber Lounge on June 16th. If you're in the area, come through and come party with me and celebrate life by supporting African-centered education. Also, check my page. I've launched a fundraiser, a birthday fundraiser, but I didn't want to launch it just for the Uhuru Academy. I included 2 more organizations in our community that I feel are doing outstanding work. Not that others are not. These are just 2 that I wanted to highlight and share my birthday fundraiser with. One is the Act of Change Cultural Center in Dallas, run by Dr. Safisha Hill, in peace and reverence to the great ancestor Baba Eshundele Fabreno. But Dr. Hill is keeping the doors open at the Act of Change, y'all. It's a African-centered cultural center. When you walk in there, it's like you left America. I'm talking, they have great events. They hold after-school programs there, summer programs there. There have been African-centered schools to go on to be facilitated because they'll partner with homeschoolers. They partnered with homeschooling parents and allowed them to use the building. And they got rent and they got lights, so we're raising funds for them. And also, we're raising funds for Root Mama Pregnancy Center in Duncanville. Sister Freya, who runs Root Mama, she's helped us. She was our doula on 3 of our children. She helped us deliver 3 of our children. But she's on the front lines fighting, right? Fighting for proper education on the Black woman's womb. She's fighting systemic racism within the medical system. She's on the front lines dispelling all the myths, saving sisters from getting unnecessary C-sections, making sure sisters getting the proper prenatal care, facilitating natural births inside of our community. Oh, man, the real Planned Parenthood is Sister Freya and her model. And it's programs like Active Change and programs like Root Mama Pregnancy Center that need to be able to duplicate themselves. We need to look at these programs and we need to duplicate these programs in other communities. All right. All right. So with the fundraiser, we're raising $3,000. $1,000 is going to go to the pregnancy center. $1,000 is going to go to the Acts of Change, and $1,000 is going to go to the Uhuru Academy, our private school. Right. So spread the word. Every little bit counts. Man, one of y'all might got $3,000 on your dresser. I don't know. I make no assumptions, right? But $3,000 is the goal. $1,000 for Acts of Change, $1,000 for the Root Mama Pregnancy Center, and $1,000 for the Uhuru Academy. Please spread the word. Please donate. Check my page for the link. I'll be sharing it again and again and again. All right. All right. So by June 18th, we want to make that mark. All right, I think we're almost at $200 right now, so we got $2,800 to go. That ain't nothing to almighty people. The 15th coming up. This ain't rent check. This ain't rent check. All right. If you like what you heard today and you would like to hear more, we'll be back next Sunday. Be Black next Sunday. This video is being recorded on YouTube as well. I need suggestions. Suggestions on where to take this ministry. Suggestions on how to maximize the reach of this ministry, and to get people involved. You see what I'm saying? I want to know what you want to do to join the Nu Afrikan Temple. Let me show y'all the new shirt. Let me show you the new shirt here. Let me show you the new shirt. Back up a little bit. Let me show y'all the new shirt. That's the Nu Afrikan Temple. That's our shield right there. Good stuff. My oldest son. Shout out to my oldest son. Maserati Bass, that's his stage name. Dominique, shout out for the shirt design and printing out the shirts. Shout out to T-Shirt Kings. My brother Rick, shout out for hiring my son and apprenticing my son and teaching him these great skills. Operation Reconnect. I know everybody didn't walk, y'all. Everybody didn't walk. So Operation Reconnect is still there. That's our Cinto Ramos. What's up, man? Spread the word. For those who didn't walk, I have a program, $300 tuition. That is it. That is it. Not only will I bring you up to par academically, make sure you're up to par academically, I will help you develop their life plan, a life strategy. What are they going to do with it once they get their diploma? Operation Reconnect. We will graduate you from the Uhuru Academy. We starting a high school diploma revolution around here, y'all. In Texas, any college that accept taxpayer dollars has to recognize homeschooling and private school students. Everybody's not going to graduate from public school. Our so-called dropout rate is enormous. We need to build programs. That's why we're always raising funds. We need to duplicate these programs that catch our children when they fall through the cracks. That's our responsibility. I know we want to turn around and yell at the school system, but nothing's stopping us from building institutions to pick up the slack. Nothing. Shout out to Ashley Prince, Jay Prince, the whole Prince family. We're working together right now on bringing some educational programs to the 5th Ward in Houston. Shout out to Cheryl Irvin and the Akibalan Academy in Broward County, Florida. She has developed a reading program for 2- and 3-year-olds. We're enrolling our babies in it. I can't wait. I can't wait. Right? There's some Africans out here doing some great things. Shout out to Dr. Mukasa Ma'at and the National Black Independent School Organization. They have raised thousands of dollars for African-centered schools. We are proud members. That's our accreditation agency, the National Association of the National Black Independent School Association. Shout out to Dr. Mukasa Ma'at, the founder of that association, man. And shout out to Lone Star RBG, all my comrades putting in work. Y'all, we're working on so much right now. We're working on so much. I have the online summer school, the adult class, Operation Reconnect, getting ready for the fall. We're about to relaunch the Uhuru Academy website. We're getting ready for RBG Family Weekend. There's so much going on. If you would like to get involved, we definitely need volunteers, and we need volunteers with skills, okay? Computer skills, graphic skills, Microsoft Office skills. We need people with skills that want to get involved with something positive for our people. All right. All right. I think that's it. I think that's it for this week. Whew. I want to start doing some things. I want to start putting out an affirmation or a proverb, like text, a mass text of a proverb every morning. You know what I'm saying? But I need to build a list, an email list, a text list for that. I want to start offering counseling services for those who are interested in being a part of the Nu Afrikan Temple. We need to organize business mixes, man. I want to get Black-owned businesses involved in networking with one another and networking with the people. Y'all, at our temple, in this ministry, we want to support Black-owned businesses. So if you have a Black-owned business, this is where you need to come. And you need to vend at RBG Family Weekend. We expect anywhere from 700, maybe 700 to 1,000 people to come throughout the weekend. Excellent networking opportunity. Remember, vending is not just about coming in and making a bunch of money. It's about coming in and making a bunch of contacts, getting a bunch of emails. You need to find supporters, people who will order from you, people who will buy from you from here on out. This is one of those events, and it can become bigger if we make it bigger together. So we're going to be coming out with some sponsorship opportunities as well. You can vend, but you can also be a sponsor of RBG Weekend, which will include multimedia exposure, which will include commercials being shot for you for free. I mean, oh man, we have some packages, some sponsorship packages that'll really help you grow your business. All right. All right. I got to go because I got to get ready for a meeting. But I love you. I don't mind telling you, but I also love the Creator. I love God. I love Jah. Right? I love the God and the Goddess. I love creation. I love deity. I love the deity. I'm so grateful to the unseen. I'm so grateful to the ancestors. We have to close out in prayer. Okay? All right. In your preferred position of prayer, please. Creator, we come to you humbly and appreciative for another opportunity to share truth, another opportunity to uplift, another opportunity to engage and to empower. Creator, I pray that anything I said in error be corrected and I be held accountable. Creator, I pray that anything I said that may have touched someone, uplifted someone, that it leads to that person making positive decisions in their life. Decisions that will increase their quality of life. Decisions that will allow them to share light with others and empower others to be great as well. Thank you, Creator. Thank you for this voice. Thank you, Creator. Thank you for this word. We leave in gratitude. Amin. All right. I say, y'all, till next time, peace and black power. I enjoyed that.